So why is Bitcoin dropping so much? What's going on, team? It's Ricky with TechBit Solutions, and this is a question not only myself, but a lot of traders have been asking themselves after the SEC approved 11 spot Bitcoin ETFs shortly, if I'm not mistaken, it was Wednesday after market hours or Thursday, right? We initially saw a push, but now markets are dropping. I thought that this article from Forbes did a really good job breaking it down and hopefully can shed some light on some of the questions you might have yourself. I really hope that you learned something new in this video, and if you do, please consider dropping a thumbs up, and all I ask you to do is if you have any further questions, let me know down in the comments section, as I would love to make another video just for you. Let me go ahead and start sharing my screen. Right now, we are looking at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, again, after the spot Bitcoin ETF approval, hit highs of $49,000, $49,067.72. Then we saw a dramatic pullback. And then as of right now, look at this. The consolidation that we are seeing right around $42,000 for Bitcoin. The really great thing about this is that it's not necessarily making any more lower lows. So we're not making any further progress on the downside, but we're definitely not showing signs of a recovery. In the LPP lesson library, we talk about the 3 stages of a reversal, and this fits perfect because a lot of people like to ask, well, is now a good time to buy? Well, there's no confirmation that this thing is recovering. Now, if that were the case, what would that look like? This is a perfect example. We sell off. That's the rejection phase, an active sell-off. Then there's the consolidation phase where it's establishing a support level. Sometimes it might just be a few days. Sometimes it might take weeks. But during this consolidation phase is, again, there's movement within a range, but it's not making much progress on the upside or on the downside. There's not an active recovery. And again, this is a mistake I've made many, many times where I enter early and then I kind of regret it for one of 2 reasons. First reason is maybe it just doesn't go according to plan, and after the consolidation, it just continues to sell off. This is why, again, you wait for stage 3, which is waiting for confirmation. Or you waste so much time in a consolidation phase that you get pretty much bored of there not being any further progress on your position, that you just end up closing it and then it confirms and then you miss out on the trade. I don't know if this is something that you guys can relate to, but I know that that has happened to me so many times. So what can we do? Well, stage 3 is confirmation. That is when we're actively showing signs of an uptrend, right? How many times have you taken a trade where it actively is pushing up and you're like, wow, that was such an enjoyable and a much easier trade, because it was actively in your favor. And this is what we talk about all the time with our LPP team, is it's about entering and exiting at an efficient time when there's an active rally or an active sell-off, depending if you're trying to make money going long or if you're trying to make money going short. But with that being said, I set my alert for the break above 43,000. That would be the break above the EMA line and actively showing progress on a recovery. If I get that, then again, this is something that can bring back my attention to Bitcoin and everything that Bitcoin influences, such as coin stock and Mara stock, right? But I also set my alert, at least I thought I did. It doesn't look like it's showing it here. It might have canceled the other. But I can also set an alert here for the break below. And by setting this alert for the break below, what this would do is once it breaks below, and if it breaks below 42,000, then I'm at least kept up to date of like, hey, Bitcoin is actively selling off. It's probably going to have a negative influence on all the Bitcoin ETFs, as well as the stocks that it influenced, such as Coin and Mara. But as of right now, Coin has not been doing the best. It's establishing a support level, but it's not indicating any signs of recovery. Now, why exactly is this happening? So Forbes did a great job breaking it down, and it says that this single-handedly, the sell-off that we saw happen on Thursday and on Friday after the Bitcoin ETF approval was one of the biggest sell-offs, the biggest losses since August, and the second worst day since November of 2022 during the FTX unraveling of when FTX was going to have to file for bankruptcy or get bought out, right? So if you were kind of scratching your head and asking yourself, man, like this is a pretty steep pullback, you're not wrong. This is a very steep pullback, and it's something that hasn't happened in quite some time. The other thing that I want to remind you is that a lot of people are considering this with the idea of buy the rumors, sell the news type of approach when it comes down to the spot Bitcoin ETF approval. A lot of people has been aware of this spot Bitcoin ETF approval since a few months ago. So the strong rally that we've had from lows of 15,000 to highs of 48,000, you have to remind yourself there's been a lot of buying pressure already. So a lot of people might just want to lock in profits to anticipate a potential pullback. As you can see, we're still holding above the EMA line here. If we begin to break below the $40,000 range, that's where we can really enter some uncertain territory where we can begin to gap down all the way back down to the moving average, maybe at 33,000, and continue to sell off then. We're not there yet. We're still holding above, so there's still hope that this thing could potentially recover. But just know we're very close to a pivotal point for Bitcoin where things really can begin to get so much worse. So just something to be aware of. The other thing that, again, you want to be reminded is that, Bitcoin is now trading at this lowest level in the week. It has also retained gains from the ETF hype. So after this, about this blowout, so again, it kind of highlights that it's been up over 130% in the last 12 months. So you might be surprised or uncertain because of this recent pullback, but you also have to take into consideration this insane rally that it's had. And that, of course, just like anything, once news actually gets released or once something actually gets into gets into fruition, you need to understand that pullback or selling pressure of people locking in profits shouldn't come as a surprise, which goes back to that same saying of buy the rumors and sell the news. And every article that I am reading, and please let me know down in the comment section if you see anything different, but every article that I continue to read covers and highlights the same thing, and that is that it's a technical pullback, and it's just based off of the simple concept of buying the rumors, the rumor being that, hey, the SEC is pending approval for these spot Bitcoin ETFs. If it gets approved, this could really legitimize Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So then that's why in the past 2, 3, 4 months, we've seen crypto go up. We've seen Coinbase go up. We've seen Mara go up. And it's all because that was factored in advance. You have to remind yourself, these markets like to factor things in advance based off of expectation. Now, if this didn't get approved, there would have been a much stronger correction. But because they did get approved, now, again, this is just a correcting itself back to levels where it's not as overhyped. I feel like it's kind of just shedding some of the skin of the people that were just trying to make money on the possibility of it going up. And now that it did, people are locking in profits. But if it holds its ground here and then it gathers more attention, right? There could be more buying pressure that begins to build up at these levels. The possibility of Bitcoin to continue to recover and even exceed $49,000 is possible. But again, you just have to understand that these buying and selling waves come in sessions, right? And they come in waves themselves where you cannot be surprised that people are looking out for themselves and that they might not believe that crypto or Bitcoin is going to go to 100,000 or 1 million. Everyone has their own opinions and that's what they're entitled to. But there's a handful of people that obviously wanted to lock in profits. And that is what we're seeing, at least saw for the past 3 trading days when it comes down to Bitcoin. Now, what's to come for this upcoming week? Last week, we had the CPI data report, which is the inflation report. This upcoming week, we do have a lot of banks and institutions that are going to be reporting earnings. We will be talking about that during our live trading sessions with the LPP team, but there's no significant tech company, nothing like Apple or Google or Amazon, that is going to be reporting earnings this week. So again, it's something that I'll keep you up to date. And then the week that follows after that, we will be having our FOMC meeting, which is when the Federal Reserve will meet and determine if inflation is going to be kept at the same, if interest rates are going to be kept at the same rate or if they're going to cut interest rates, which is again a big expectation for 2024. I really hope that you guys enjoy your 3-day weekend. The stock market is closed tomorrow, Monday, January 15th, in observance to Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So again, I hope that you enjoy your 3-day weekend. If you have any questions whatsoever, especially if you're an absolute beginner, please either comment down below or do not hesitate to shoot me a direct message either via Discord or via Instagram. And I'd love to answer any questions on how you can get started. Also, again, I do trade live every morning, meaning that you get to see an inside look, a raw live trading session. You get to see my screen and you get to see everything that I'm buying, everything that I'm selling, but most importantly, you get to hear my thought process behind every trade I take. And this is normally very useful for someone that's just getting started. If you want to tune on in and check it out to learn more about it, it's the second link in the description down below. I appreciate your time. Don't forget, our Tesla giveaway is coming to an end. And if you want to enter to win in less than 7 days, then it's going to be that fourth link in the description down below. Appreciate your time. Happy Sunday. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.